What's up? What's up? It's your man, Jimmy Chan. All right, so here we got to do a transformation. So this is what we're given, and it wants me to basically figure out what this equation is. In other words, do a transformation, and then from that transformation, use this as the mother function, or the parent function. That's what they call it. I like to call it a mother function. So you want to take that parent function and essentially, what needs to be done with the x and what needs to be done with the y in order to make this graph look like this graph, okay? So one of the things that you have to learn is that a key point in this graph is this point right here. So it will always cross, no matter what the base is, it's always going to cross 8. Is always going to cross 0, 1. Okay? That's always the truth. And I know that you see this is called a horizontal asymptote, which there is one here, but because of the x-axis, you don't see it. And the horizontal asymptote is basically a line that it can cross, but essentially what's going to happen towards the end or the ends of the graph. So as it goes towards negative infinity, right? As it goes towards negative infinity, it's going to get closer and closer to the x-axis, but never going to actually touch it, okay? So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to show it to you this way. I'm going to go ahead and take this right here, and I'm going to duplicate this. Let's make a bigger circle here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change it to a different color, like a green. And in fact, I want to make it dotted, okay? So if I was to put this here, right, similar, and pretend I reflected it over, it's still going to have to, so that 0, 1 basically has to reflect over that x-axis. If it reflects over the x-axis, because it crosses 0, 1, it's now going to have to cross 0, negative 1. And this right here, what happened here? Well, this would be taking that 2x, 2 to the x, and negating the y value, right? Because the y value went from positive to negative. So let me go ahead and put a circle right here. And notice that this is now 0, negative 1, right? So you can see that the y value was negated, all right? All right, so let's say we did that. All right, so let me go ahead and take this again and duplicate it. Except I'm gonna make it, I don't know, blue, okay? So if I took this from here, and it looks like I shifted up 1, 2, right? Because I have that horizontal asymptote. So I have this thing right here, right? So if I bring it over, it can't touch it, so it's gotta be right there. So I gotta keep that in mind, all right? However, what's the problem? Over here, I cross 0, 0, where here I cross back on that 0, 1 because I shifted up 2 spaces. Okay, but before I do that, I'm going to say, okay, that is telling me to shift up 2 spaces, right? Okay. However, it doesn't cross my 0, 0. Right? So there's more to be done. So let's go ahead and go, okay, let me go and duplicate this, but I'm going to now make it a red. Okay? So if I'm here, what do I need to do in order to get that to cross 0, 0? I can't shift it back down because then it will kind of take away from that negative, from that +2, right? So I need to either shift left or shift right. Well, if I shift right, I'm getting away from that 0, 0, okay? So if you notice, if I shift left 1 unit, what happens? I now cross that 0, 0 part, okay? So now that red graph looks exactly like the graph on the right, okay? So if that's the case, then what I need to do is I said I shifted left 1, correct? So that means this is going to be not x. It's now going to be x I shifted left, so plus 1. Okay, so that means my g of x is going to be right here. So this is going to be my g of x. Is that right there? So, and that is going to be choice D. So again, I reverse engineered this whole thing so I can get to the right graph. And there we go. All right. Well, I hope that helps. Any questions, let me know. See